Hey everybody, Neo Vape here, or Carl for Neo Vape. So, in my other videos, I did a review on the Lemo, the Aspire Atlantis, and now we've got the Kanger Subtank Mini. I'm going to do a quick open box on it. I already have another one here set up, done in black, but it comes in a box, very nice box. Behind the actual unit, you get instruction book, some organic cotton, a rebuildable deck, an 0.5 coil, and a 1.2 ohm coil. But you probably see the unboxing of these many times, so I'm not really going to get into it. If you guys want me to do a full review and a build on it, leave a comment below, and I'll go ahead and build this puppy. I already actually have one already built out. Put the black rings on it just to show everybody they do come. You can get other colors for the rings. You can get black, purple, blue, clear, and the standard red for Kanger. So they are changeable. You look on eBay, you can get the rings to change the colors out. Wanted to get a vape in. So what we're going to be looking at today, as promised, we're going to be looking at the Lemo. And I'm not going to do a blowing clouds comparison. I vaped each one of these for a minimum of a week. And I wanted to kind of go over each one of them. The Aspire Atlantis is almost not in the same category because it doesn't have a rebuildable deck, so it's not considered a rebuildable tank. But there's videos on YouTube that show you how to rebuild these. I have done it. I have one in here where you rebuild the coil cartridge in it. So that's why I put it in the category. I'm going to tell you the pros and cons and what I like and dislike of each unit. I'm chasing the flavor, not wanting to produce clouds as much. So I'm not. I've done the regular RDAs, the regular build your own coil. I've done it. The drippers, I've done it. I'm looking for these tanks that can be built to what you want and give you flavor. And so I wanted to look at these three. I was looking at a K-Fund today. I was thinking about adding a K-Fund to it. And frankly, K-Funds seem a little high and a little too complicated. I wanted more simplicity. And as we get into it, I'll tell you, the Lemo has some cons with me for some of its usability. So let's get started. First, the Aspire Atlantis. We'll get this guy out of the way. This is a great unit for anybody that wants to kind of go sub-ohm, bigger tank, blow clouds, and not have to really build your own. You can build these, or you can rebuild these. I've rewicked mine, but I'll give it a... It is actually... Battery's dying on this thing, so I'm going to do the best I can. There she goes. Great machine. I love the tank. I love it on the sub-ohm battery from Aspire also. It's a good unit. It's a easy unit. You put the coil cartridge in there, you fill it, and you go. Pretty simple. You get more in depth in rewicking and rebuilding the coils. That's why I put it in that category. Plus, it's blowing clouds. It's producing vapors as good as the other two here. Now we'll get to the Lemo. So the Aspire's in there. I'll give it my score at the end of this. But now we'll talk about the Lemo. And I'm doing them in no special order. I'm doing them in the order that I received these as I bought these and tried them out. So I've had the Aspire Atlantis the longest, Lemo, and the Kanger. So This thing blows clouds. Note, I don't even have the air open all the way on this thing. I had to tune it down just to keep the flavor. So out of the almost three turns that it takes to open this thing full wide, I have it about half closed. I have a thick VG in here. This is a thick viscosity juice. This is Miss Samoa in here. This thing does well. It has a bigger buildable deck than the Kanger. Easier to work on, easier to build. I like the long drip tip, I like the large capacity, and I like the air holes. Now let's get into the things I don't like. I don't like the fact that you have to take all of them off your battery unit or your mod to fill them, unless you want to do a balancing act. But you have to take the 510 connector plate off. You have to remove a screw, a little tiny screw that's in there, if you could see it. There's a little Phillips screw. You remove that, and you need a very small syringe, very small dripper, or you need a needle bag or bottle to fill this. And to fill it takes some time. I did a video on the breakdown of this guy, the whole opening of the box, everything. I like this tank. This tank works incredibly well. It maintains incredible service. It just does. It works. There is no questions. There's no anything about it. It has a thick juice in it. I can turn this puppy really high, and it does really well. I put a coil build in here. We're sitting, I believe, I built this at 1.0 exactly. And in the other video, you can see me actually, I build the coil, I wick it, I put it together. I did save everyone the pain of watching me fill it, because it does take a while. And I use a pin bottle with a pin tip on it and fill it. So that's what the Lemo is a great unit. I love this unit. It's the bigger of the units I have, but I love it. This thing performs incredibly well. Great air. Matter of fact, it's so much air, I have to actually turn it down to keep my flavor. Like I said, I'm a flavor chaser, not a cloud chaser, but I'm going to give it a hit here. That's half open. That's half open, and it still just chucks the clouds. So it does really good, as Rip Tripper says it. The clouds be chucking. Flavor is incredible. It holds. It works. I like the drip tip. The build is easy because the deck is bigger. Now we'll get to the Kanger Tech. Kanger Tech. I tried it with the organic cotton or OCC coil cartridge, the 0.5 ohm coil. It worked. On the thicker juices, it doesn't take it in through the two portholes very well. I did get a little bit of a dry hit. If you put too much air on it, you really start to get dry hits. It's too much air and not enough juice getting into the cotton. I turned it down to the second, or where there's two holes, there's a second setting right there. It's just the two holes. Then things got better. Flavor got better. A little bit warmer vape. Turn the voltage, or turn the power down, and I balanced it out. Got my flavor, and it does pretty good on clouds. So I'm getting good clouds. I'm getting good vapor production. The flavor is incredible. It's good. Note, I do have my own coil build in here now. I put I have a 0.9 ohm build in here. I took their 0.5 ohm coil that they had built on the deck already. I took it off, put my own on, and I just put black rings on it, changed it out a little bit. It's the same drip tip here. And like I said, here it is in the box. This is another one I bought. And please note, nobody has given me these products for review. I've purchased all 100% of these products. I buy my products through the alluringvapors.com. So this is the Kanger Tech in red, out of the box, with the 0.5 ohm coil on it. Like I said, if you want me to do a build and a breakdown of the unit, I will do that. Right now, this is just for the comparison with the 3. So now, in conclusion, the Aspire Atlantis is a good tank. It can blow clouds. It can compete with a lot of the drippers. This thing is a juice hog. This thing will go through juice because of the size of the coil inside. This thing does incredibly well. This thing can blow clouds. It holds flavor, and you can re-wick it because they do use a ceramic wick. That was the reason, really, the 100% reason I changed it was because I didn't want the ceramic wicking material in there. I wanted 100% organic cotton. So I took that out and redid it. I followed some folks on YouTube and learned how to do it, and I love it. It's right at the same build. You just merely changing out the wicking material to 100% organic cotton. I don't have it opened all the way just because this is a very tart, kind of lemony, it's Serial Killer. Serial Killer from 9 South Vapes is a little too tart for me, so I have it turned down a lot. The Lemo scores high with me. The capacity on this thing is beefy. This thing can last me all day and some. Once you, like I said, the downside to it is trying to get the air intake level the way you want. You want to try to lock in on that and worship it. Because there's no real gauge, there's no turning band to adjust, it becomes a little bit of a guessing game. You have to kind of, until you're happy, you keep turning. I'll show you, there's a ring on the bottom, and you turn the outer ring of that screw to adjust your air. And so you have to sit there and turn it and adjust it, similar to like you do with a K-Fun. And once you get it right, then you put the base on and hope your airflow stays exactly where you want it. It does take a little bit getting the air exactly how you want it. I know it did with me because I didn't want it all the way open. So this guy rates really high. Once you get it where you want it, you know, you're not going to adjust it all the time. I mean, you may adjust it to different liquids. Excuse me. But once you get it set to where you want it, it's incredible. 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 So if I'm comparing oranges to apples, I would have to say the Lemo would win hands down. Now, if we want to compare apples to apples, the Kanger Subtank Mini is a good unit. The reason I say that is because you're building the deck in both of them. It changes the game a little bit. I find, and what I've heard from other vaping folks out there, and I've asked and questioned a lot of people in vape shops and stuff, do they build the coil or do they just use the OCC coil? The 3 people I talked to, 2 of them had OCC coils at the 0.5 ohm rating and loved it. Flavor, clouds, they loved it, and that was their daily driver. When you put the rebuildable deck in, there's a little bit more maintenance involved, a little bit more finesse and playing with it, but it's still a good tank. So for me, the Kanger Tech Subtank Mini is easier to fill, easier to take apart, easier to clean, and easier to just add fluids and change fluids. Changing the wick out on this is easy, just as it would be with that it is with the Lemo. The problem is when you're building your own coil on the deck on the Kanger Tech is so much smaller than the Lemo. So building becomes a little bit tedious here versus with the Lemo. Kanger, good when you build it, harder to build. Lemo, easier to build. And you've got a bigger chimney and area. This kind of tapers into a bigger chimney line to the drip tip. Excuse me. The Kanger Tech has just the buildable deck. You screw the cap on, you're done. And then you have that one straw or chimney pipe going in. So I contribute better flavor to the Lemo because of the design of the chimney off of the deck. My preference, excuse me, I have a little bit of a dry throat. But in my preference, the Lemo seems to perform better in its built when you build the deck. With the Kanger, it seems to perform a little bit better with the OCC the OCC coil cartridge in there. To be honest with you, I haven't vaped much on the 1.2, I believe it is, that comes with it. I have not. Yeah, so there's a 1.2. So the 1.2 ohm coil I have not used at all. So I cannot compare that. I wasn't going to compare these with the coils. I was going to compare them with the rebuildable decks. And so both of these are in rebuildable mode right now. And if I had to compare just on the slide, I would say the Lemo performs better. Sorry guys. Kanger's a great tank. I like it. It's stylish. It's beautiful. It's smaller, as you can see. It's just a smaller, even without the drip tips on there, it is a smaller unit. I do like the drip tip on the Kanger. It is bigger. There's a bigger bore, and so you get better on it. I don't like the fact that the pipe inside coming off of the chimney is small. The stack coming off of this deck and into this chimney is bigger, and it's tapered. I contribute that. I mean, I'm going to say that assists with better flavor, just by what I've experienced with like RDAs and drip tips and different builds and different designs. So as you can see, the Lemo is substantially bigger. The Kanger Tech, now this is the Kanger Tech Mini. It's not the Nano, it's not the full size, it's the Mini. So I guess we could put the full size Kanger Tech up next to it, and the Lemo would either be shadowed by it, or they'd be probably about the same. So that's the comparison. I wasn't really going to score them. I wasn't really going to pick one over any of them. They both are very good devices, very good for flavor. I'm giving the pros and cons and the plus and minuses for each unit. Easier to fill, nicer to look at, better drip tip, bad chimney. This one, smaller drip tip, bigger chimney, great pipe going up, harder to fill, harder to adjust air, but just performs awesome. So I hope this helps. Again, I am looking for the ultimate device for flavor. I've done the RDAs, I've done the Nautilus Mini, Nautilus Mini performs very, very well. It's not rebuildable. You have to buy new coils. The Aspire, you have to buy new coils, or you can re-wick the coils you have. And there's videos online. Like I said, if you want me to do one, leave a comment below. Hit the like button and leave a comment below, and I will do one. I've done one so far, and it came out really well, and it works really well. Just put organic cotton in there in place of the ceramic wicking material. So, in conclusion, I would use the Lemo. I think I would lean more towards the Lemo than the Kanger. I'm going to give the Kanger more extensive try, but I am going to try the OCC coil and see, since everybody just brags about the OCC coil. So until next time, vape on. And remember, our website is neovape.net. That's neovape.net. And if you want to get any of the equipment or tanks that I have spoke about today, you can get them at alluringvapors.com. alluringvapors.com. And make sure you subscribe, comment below if you want me to do a build on the Kanger and actually go through a coil build, or the Aspire Nautilus if you want me to do a video on a re-wicking of organic cotton in place of the ceramic wick that is in that coil. Until next time, vape on.